Hello everyone and welcome to the Hugh channel. Now, I don't normally do videos like this, but over the last few months I've seen an awful lot of new channels start, and also looked at some of the streamers that I've been supporting for a long time. And there are a couple of concerning matters that have come up that I think are worth discussing. Because a lot of the time, gaming is so big and we enjoy quite a lot of it. We love watching it. But many of us want to try and take part, my good self included. Have been running for 7 or 8 years now, certainly doing gaming actively, but not always streaming that, certainly, and on YouTube for a number of years doing interviews. But from meeting many of the top streamers and top gamers and content creators, most of them are able to avoid my main concern. And because of that, let me put that straight. The top guys that we see straight away, like the guys you see behind me there, like Tidney, and obviously these are the championship contenders for one of the Gran Turismo World Championships that was done a few years back. One of them is there's Mikhail Hizal, who we had on a couple of weeks ago. These guys, they have got contracts in place. They have, they've worked incredibly hard, and they've made it to the top tiers of gaming and certainly of Gran Turismo 7. The issue that I have is that there's an awful lot of streamers out there who are kind of desperate to get up there at the same time. And there's going to be an awful lot of disappointment and also a lot of burnout. And I haven't really experienced major burnout in what I've done so far, partly because I have had breaks in my career in terms of YouTube, and my channel is tiny compared to most. But it is a concern that people are kind of trying so hard, they're trying to do so much, they're streaming all the time, that is that actually going to affect their life outside of gaming? And how important it is that you do have a life outside of gaming, because many people have families, have married with children, and it makes a huge difference to your life and adds a quality of life that you really need. And a lot of the streamers, they might have taken a little bit of time off, and then they come back and they feel a lot more refreshed. So my advice would be is to really take that into consideration, because the last thing you want to do is to burn yourself out trying to compete with all of these, already successful streamers. And then you find that you're maybe not going as fast as you want. I mean, I know, as a matter of fact, my channel hasn't grown very much at all. I've had little spurts recently in as I've come back to gaming, but I really want to do this because I enjoy doing it, and I have fun with it. And a lot of the time it's quite stressful, because when you stream in it, you're constantly getting the ups and the downs of whether people are enjoying what you're doing, or you're looking at how well did your video or your stream perform. And if it's not happening for you, then it can really kind of affect you mentally, because it's just a stress out with everything else that you really probably don't need. And that's what I would, if I can stress, to pardon the pun, any particular term, I would say, do this because you enjoy it. And if it's at a point where you're not really enjoying it and it's not really working, then just play because you want to play. And don't worry about having to stream everything, or having to record everything, or having to put it out there on YouTube, because you know what? Life's not worth it. I mean, we can't all make thousands of pounds out of YouTube. We have to have something quite unique to be able to make YouTube work. And it's only going to get tougher as more and more people compete in different fields. But, as a GT7 player, I enjoy the game to many degrees. I like to do other games too, and see what they're like, and maybe stream some of that. But I would just say, because as well as I've seen some channels grow, they then get people in the chat who can sometimes cause a few problems, or they can say things that people don't like, and then you get all the stress. This is like social media a number of years back, isn't it? Someone makes a political statement, and all of a sudden you have to respond to it. And if you're sitting there driving away and you've got people in the chat talking about goodness knows what, and it's causing all sorts of problems, you sometimes think, if I'm doomed if I do, and I'm doomed if I don't, because whatever your reaction is, people will hold you to it. So it is tricky, and you have to have moderators sometimes to be able to make sure that your chat is really in keeping, not just with the guidelines, but also just making sure that people don't say things that could be insinuated as things that would be either racist or whatever else, because these are the kind of things that tend to come up on YouTube channels. But yeah, so my thing is, just be ready. If you want to take this seriously, you have to be committed, like the guys in the picture behind me. They've got to go for it and do everything they can to be to be number one. But that's going to come at a cost, and you have to figure out, is that cost really going to be worth it? And are there so many opportunities out there available for people? People like Rory Alexander, who has made a great full-time job out of this, and has deservedly done extremely well, and has got a great marketplace. Now, yes, there is probably room for more, but it is a very, very committed and highly time-consuming job, and maybe not suitable for everyone. To be fair, Rory does a very good job of holding that family balance right, and all many commendations to him, because he's done really well with that, and I hope and I'm pretty sure he will continue to succeed in those areas. But it is tough, and you will find, especially when you look at some of my interviews on the channels, mental health and people just burning out is the main reason that can cause a lot of problems, especially for men who take part in most of these games. Overwhelmingly, it's males that play the games. So just be careful not to go over the top, or not to be so much into the game that you forget about the life outside of that. And let's enjoy gaming and have that fun of playing the games that we like, racing each other well into the future. But take care, everyone. I thought I'd do this video. Let me know what you think. It's something a little bit different, but I think there are a few cautionary areas we need to watch out for, and hopefully we can make the best of it. But I'll be back very soon, so drive fast and drive your bus even faster. Bye just now.